Hello students. Under the first chapter, Nature of Financial Management, in the first recording I have explained you why financial management has went up to a dramatic changes in the last few years or after 21st century. Why this financial management has been studied as a separate discipline. How the financial management has been emerged. This we have discussed in the first recording, wherein we have also discussed about what is the meaning, what is the definition and functions of financial management. Then in the second recording I have sent you the functions, scope of financial management. What is the importance of financial management? Under that there are two approaches. They are modern approach and a traditional approach. First comes traditional, then modern. Under the traditional approach, I have explained you what is traditional. Traditional approach is a one wherein they have concentrated only on raising the funds. Okay, and this concept is suitable only for small concern where the operation of their business is small, the scale of production is small, and it is suitable where the technology used in their organization is very limited. For that kind of concern, they go for a traditional approach of financial management, wherein traditional approach of financial management has concentrated only on raising the funds from the public or from any other source. Then external reporting they have concentrated, and institutional instruments. These are the 3 points which traditional approaches have been concentrating on. They are raising the funds, external reporting, and institutions and instruments. These are the 3 points. Today I'm going to discuss about the scope of financial management under modern approach. Under modern approach, there has been a dramatic changes, that is the role of financial management has been assigned as a greater role. Now, why it has been assigned a greater role is because of the development of science and technology. The development of technology made many corporates highly profitable. It means with a less number of workers, with a less number of laborers, and with the capital, they can generate huge profit. And this huge profit is being shared to the public or to the investors. And that how it has been shared and how to manage the funds can be studied through financial management. So because of the development of technology, the role of financial management has been increased. And also because of the absorption of information technology and networking has brought down the cost of organization and the time involved in the project execution. Even you can find every now and then we can find a new technology has been implemented, or it has been found, or it has been invented through research and technology, because of which the companies can execute their project very quickly. They can bring down the cost of production, which ultimately result in huge cash surplus. Then the outsourcing of process has enabled the executives to concentrate on more important and more innovative aspects of the organization. This innovative then outsourcing process which has been increasing nowadays is because of competition. Every organization faces competition from its opponents because of their similar product taste, preferences, likes and dislikes. There are many products available which the customers have their choices. They have different choices. So the company has to go for the innovative things wherein they can attract the new customers or maintain the existing customers for the product. Okay, so this can be done through proper execution of the projects by taking a proper decision, especially finance decision. And not only finance decision but also managing the funds becomes a very important approach under financial management. So that's why, because of these changes in science and technology, changes in information technology, and changes in the government policies, environment, this made competition more heavy. I mean, every company, every institution is facing up this competition level, heat of competition. To avoid or to maintain or to tackle those problems, the financial management plays a very, very important role. That's why the approaches in the modern approach, we can say, it has assigned a greater role to financial management. Under modern approach, we are going to study the three functions under this. They are financing decision, investment decision, and dividend policy decisions. These are the three decisions to be taken under modern approach. Under the each decisions, you have several points wherein each decision describes what they have to do, how they have to do, and how these problems can be solved. So one by one we will see what is financing decisions, what is investment decision, and what is dividend policy decisions. First one is financing decisions. Financing decision means every corporate houses raises funds from promoters, shareholders, creditors, and financial institution. It is a basic function of financial management. And financing deals with the following problems. Now what happens is financing, the word finance means is the money. Decision is nothing but regarding money, how you take up the decisions. So every corporate houses, joint stock companies, they don't have their own funds. It is of lakhs and crores of rupees. So they go for raising the funds. For raising the funds as it is given, it may be from the promoters, it may be from the shareholders, creditors, financial institutions. So each one has its own merits, demerits, etc. So how these funds are to be raised, from which sources they can raise the funds, and how much they can raise the funds, which are the best source of raising the funds, can be answered through financial management. So financing deals or financial management deals with the following problems. Financing decisions deals with the following problems. Now what are these problems? Estimations of funds requirement. The first step under financing decision, it says that any problems of relating to the money can be solved. First you have to take up the decisions regarding the estimation of funds required. That is, the meaning is the funds needed by an organization is to be estimated in advance. Like they have to plan in advance. Like in order to build a house, you plan in advance how much money you need to build or construct a house. Through the help of the engineer, you find out. Like that, in the construction or to establish a company, you need to estimate in advance what is the amount of money or how much cash is required to start the business in advance. Estimation can be more or it can be less, but it has to be planned in advance before going to the decision of various sources. As there are variety of choices to raise the large size funds, the requirement is to be estimated in advance by establishing financial tools, controls, and budgeting. So there are different tools we have as to how to estimate in advance. The one of the thing is financial controls. There are several techniques wherein you will study in the next few chapters. Then budgeting, because we the government plays up the budget every year. So in the budget they prepare in how much should be for transport sectors, each sectors, how much funds have been allocated, how much funds they need. So everything, the budget is prepared in advance, how much cash or how much capital they need. So these are several techniques to be used to estimate in advance how much funds they need. The estimation is for normal activity and also for various capital expenditure projects like capital expansion, installation of pollution control equipment, diversification into new areas, entering up new market, etc. Now this is about your what is your plan regarding whether you want to start a new business or whether you want to expand it or install the new equipment or for the diversification or entering into the new market. These are the several projects. So accordingly you estimate in advance how much funds to be needed. The opportunity may also arise due to the change in government policy, opening up civil aviation, maintenance of airports, production of arms and ammunition from the defense department for private participation. See this when any of the government introduce any of the policies, like any of the opportunities wherein the companies want to take up those advantage, like civil aviation and transportation, maintenance of airports, which is to be looked after by the government. Now presently everything is been privatized except railway sector. Railway is being looked after by the government, then everything is been privatized. So when a government take up a decision regarding like maintenance of airports or arms and ammunition can be given to the private sector. So once this policy has been introduced, every organization want to start a business because it is a new opportunity available. Till now there was no companies, private companies were starting the business related to the arms and ammunition. If the government gives up the permission to start by the private sectors, so in order to grab those opportunity, they have to plan in advance what is the funds to be needed, and they can accordingly they can start the business. The standby arrangements are to be made to procure funds to make use of such opportunities. So they have to plan in advance an opportunity if it comes, how to take up the opportunities. In order to take up the opportunities, they need to have funds. Funds is an important requirement. So if they have funds, they can grab the opportunities immediately and capture the market. So first steps under financing decision is estimation of funds requirement. Next is procurement of funds. Procurement of funds from various sources. What are the sources available to raise the funds? Okay, once the funds needed are estimated, they should be procured from relevant sources. Once you decide in the first step as how much, like suppose you need 10 crores rupees, 10 crore to start a business. That is the first step you have decided, and how much money also for each machinery, furniture, building, current assets, working capital, how much also is being decided. Now you have to second decision you have to take is from various sources. While taking up the decisions, the principles that guide the selection of sources like cost of funds, procedures, securities to be offered, cost of raising the funds, etc. The source that are most beneficial to the company is to be selected. Now these are the points to be taken for selecting the sources of fund. It may be the cost of funds, the procedures involved, securities to be offered, and the cost of raising funds. Each source has its benefits and demerits. So these points to be taken and then decide which is the best source. The modern financial manager raises the funds not only from the various sources in the country but also goes shopping in the foreign market for cheaper funds. That is up to them. If the organization, every organization strives its best to get the funds at a cheaper sources, whether it is from the Indian market or from the foreign market or from anywhere. If they get it at cheaper rate, what happens is their cost reduces. If their cost reduces, their profit increases. So it is beneficial for them to give a dividend or to share the profit to the investors. So cheaper source, they collect the information and then go for the cheaper sources. Even they can go for European and American financial market at very low rate of interest. Even these market provide a loan at very low rate of interest, so they can go there. From there also the money can be borrowed, but they have to see the disadvantage also. If they borrow from other markets, what are the disadvantage? If they get it at a very advantages from the Indian market, then they can go for the external source also. Many Tata Group companies, for example, if I'll give you, there are many Tata Group companies. They go for they go to the foreign funds. That is, they borrow the money from the foreign market and expand the business. So depending upon which the company decides, they take up the decisions. So once the funds are required, it has to be estimated in advance. Next is planning the capital structure. Capital structure is in the sense what should be their equity shares and what should be their what should be the ownership fund and what should be the creditorship fund. There are two sources of funds. They are creditorship and ownership. Ownership funds are like equity shares and preference shares, and creditorship funds like debentures, bonds and long-term loans. Each type has its own merits and demerits. Financial manager also plans how much should be the ownership fund and how much should be the creditorship fund. This is, once you decide how much funds you need, then you decide what are the sources of raising the funds. Then you divide your sources into two types. They are ownership and creditorship. Ownership has its own merits and demerits. Creditorship has its own merits and demerits. Okay, so they cannot go for only one source. They have to combine, make a combination of both. How much each source they are going to raise, that is the important decisions they have to take. Okay, so any error regarding the capital structure may create a permanent impact on the profitability of the company. So this should not go wrong. Planning the capital structure should not go wrong, because once if it goes wrong, then what happens is, in the sense, if, for example, if they are raising the money 10 crores, that is, there are 8 crores they are raising from the creditorship fund. When they go for the creditorship fund, it is like debentures, bonds and loans, wherein they have to pay the interest every month or every year to the debenture holders or this. If you don't pay the interest, what happens is they can file a complaint, or they can take up your assets also. So that is sure that they are able to pay. If it is not able to pay that, then the company may come to a liquidate position. So they have to plan in advance what should be their ownership fund and what should be their creditorship fund. For example, the MRPL promoted by AV Birla Group and HPCL jointly was rendering unprofitable due to the excess of debt during gestation period. Gestation period means when the business have been started, they have raised the funds from the debt. Most of the funds they have raised from the debt, excess debt. This results the company sick company. Sick company means the company is not able to earn the profit, they are not able to pay the interest, and it becomes a sick company in 2003. Finally, ONGC took over the company and had to inject nearly 600 crores to equity into a company to save it from liquidation. So you can see what happens is, immediately what happens is the company liquidate. When a company comes to a position of liquidate, wherein the ONGC company took over it. So this liquidation company or sick company happens because of the excess debt. So if they have taken the proper decision regarding the ownership and creditorship fund, they wouldn't have faced this problem. Okay, so this is an example I am giving. So planning of capital structure plays an important role for the survival of the business. The last point under the financing decision is negotiating with funding agencies. Now, once you decide with what are the sources, you have to negotiate. Negotiate is nothing but agreement with the different agencies. Now, if you borrow the loan from the financial institutions like banks, mutual funds, insurance company, investment trust, venture capital, private equity edge, banks. So there are different sources available with different institutions. So you enter into an agreement, you sign an agreement with them, but what should be the return they are going to pay, how many years it is, what is the rate of interest, everything you negotiate. Negotiate is nothing but agreement with these with the two parties, wherein the terms and conditions of the agreement will be there. As I've told you, it may be regarding the rate of interest, period of repayment, and what should be the year of repayment. Everything is mentioned. After that, negotiating, you agree with the points, they also agree with you, and after that you enter into a agreement with those companies. So these are the four points to be taken into account under financing decisions. Financing decisions, there are 4 points. They are estimation of funds requirement, next one is procurement of funds, and third one is planning the capital structure, and the fourth one is negotiating with the funding agencies. This today we have discussed only about one decision, that is financing decision. In the next recording, I will be sending you the other decision, that is remaining two, investment decision and dividend policy decision. Thank you.